same ammo with the Glock 41. See if there's any. What do you think?
I like the new one better.
Is there a difference in recoil?
It seems to be a little bit more balanced. It comes back onto center a little bit quicker.
Okay.
The trigger pull seems a little bit less catchy. It's a little bit more smooth, I think.
Yeah, it's a lighter trigger. It's about a pound lighter. And so, do you think there's a difference in muzzle flip or recoil, or is it just the balance that you like better?
I think the flip is a little bit less.
Yeah?
It seems to come back better.
Cool. Awesome. Let me try and see what I... Alright, so this is the Gen 3 Glock 21. I'm going to just do one mag of each. This is Winchester white ball. Maybe not. This is the Gen 3 Glock 21. That is interesting. It's hard to tell. It almost feels like this flips a little more for me. I'd have to do another back-to-back, so I'm going to do another one. But it almost seems like this one bounces a little bit more. Alright, so let me try one more time. Try to focus on the recoil only. This is the Glock 21 Gen 3 Winchester white box. Doesn't like to do that for some reason. Let's try this slide release. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think this one recoils more, which makes sense because it's about 2.8 ounces lighter than the Gen 3 21. So I don't know. That's my impression is that the lighter gun kicks more. So who would have thought? So these are Remington Golden Saber 185. I think they're plus P, and they are warm. Check out the flash. It's like a bomb going off. It works. We just shot about 7 mags in a row without stopping. The frame's starting to warm up. this is two groups. This is one group. This is the point of aim. This is the other group. This is the first group I shot. So that is, I don't know, I'll have to measure these, but what this shows is that I suck at shooting paper from a bench. I can't see these clearly. This isn't a good target for this, for handguns, so I'm going to switch to a different system with a white background and black dots. Hopefully that'll make it a little bit easier for me to focus on the point of aim. That, I think, is probably pretty representational of the pistol. This is 15 yards, and that's, let's see, about 2.5 inches center to center, I guess. I'll shoot some better, hopefully get some better, more high contrast targets set up and see if I can do a little bit better. But I don't like to shoot from the bench, and I don't like to shoot paper, so this is not the fun part. Alright, I feel a little bit better about these. I was able to see the contrast between the front sight and the dot a little bit better. I think that's probably a pretty good representation. This was looking to be my best one, but then I pulled that one, I think. That's about the same distance. For all of them. This is actually my best group, it looks like. I'm gonna get a measure. I'll get a ruler and measure them, but it looks to be fairly consistent as far as my crappy shooting goes. So we're gonna call that good. That's 4 groups with some match ammo built with 185 grain speared gold dot hollow points. Let's try the same setup with the Glock 21. So caveats. This is my rest. It's full of ammo, but it's not padded, it's not full of shot, and for the higher targets I was having to kind of brace the bottom of the gun on the edge here, so that's my excuse, other than the fact that I generally suck. So that's the groups with the Glock 21 Generation 3, and they look a little bit better actually. Let's measure them real quick. So I started getting paranoid that maybe my ammo wasn't good or whatever, so I shot a group with cellular and bellow, or cellular and ball, which is generally good, I think. And it's 4 1/4 inch group. This is the previous group with the 185 grain gold dots. That one, that one, that one, that one, and that one are with the ball. So I think the ammo is pretty good representation of what the gun will do with me behind it on this range with my setup. So for what it's worth. So this group right here is the one I just shot with my Dan Wesson 1911, just for kicks and giggles, to see if I was anywhere close to my capability with this setup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 1 5/8 inch group. So with that ammo, with the match 185 grain gold dot match ammo, so the 1911 seems to be a slightly better. The trigger is obviously much better, but for target shooting. The shortest group, the smallest group I got with the Glock 21 was 2 inches. These are all edge to edge. I'm measuring edge to edge, so the Glock 21 groups were 2 7/8, 2 1/4, 2 1/8, and 2 inches, which is better than the Glock 41 did for me. So take that for what it's worth. Alright, so what we're going to do now is just a quick and dirty recoil comparison between, this is a Para Ordnance P14 45 Limited, steel frame, 14 shot, 45 ACP, 1911 type. Then I'm going to shoot a magazine of this and a magazine of the Glock 41, the same ammo, and just see what I think. I think I'm pretty sure how this one's going to go, but we'll see. say that this has slightly more recoil, but it's not as big a difference as I would have expected. Both feel pretty good. They both feel very soft. This one maybe has slightly more to the hand, but it doesn't flip much more. Pretty cool. Let's try another gun. Alright, so this is a Dan Wesson steel frame 1911. I only put, so obviously it holds 9, so let's try this one. Maybe this has slightly more recoil, but they're more comparable than you would imagine. It's for weighing quite a bit less, maybe 18 ounces less, unloaded. This has pretty soft recoil. I'm actually quite impressed. Let's try another one. This is a stainless Colt Combat Commander. Let's try this one. I guess. This one jumps around a little more, but very nice. Not painful or anything. Okay, this is a SIG West German 220 aluminum frame. Length of my reloads here. I'm starting to get Glock knuckle, but the overall recoil impulse I think on those two is pretty comparable. I'm going to have to sand that grip finger groove off. It's starting to bug me, and I'm going to have to do the standard Glock file off the knuckle bump. It's starting to bug me after we're approaching 500 rounds on this thing. So, alright, so here are the last 4 magazines to reach 500 rounds, and I'm going to end with 1 magazine of lead, my lead reloads, just to make sure they work. I wouldn't ever shoot a ton of lead reloads through the Glock without cleaning it thoroughly, which I plan to do after this session, so I'm going to end with 1 magazine just to make sure they work. So don't give me any crap about it. Let's just run through these real quick. Tired. Things I do for you people. Well, these are the leads. They may not eject, these are pretty light. So there you have it. That's 500 rounds. And you can see that it's kind of colorized here from the heat, and there's lots of funk up here in the front. powder burnt, powder residue. The front sight is pretty obscured by dirt. I haven't lubed it, cleaned it, wiped it down since I first put some grease on the rails right when we started. And it's still running like a champ. We had one malfunction, ouch, the barrel's hot. Had one malfunction with Tula on magazine number 7. That's the only malfunction we've had, including I've put 2 magazines of Tula through it with no other problems. And the ammo that has been working in this is my reloads, and they actually were causing trouble in some of my 1911s. And I think my SIG. So that's my ammo that doesn't run in those guns will run in this. So that's good. So this appears to be excellent and reasonably accurate, and it feels good and it's fun to shoot.